Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. The headline reads, 75 prominent elders vow to pull Yoruba Nation out of Nigeria. The news in full. 75 prominent Yoruba elders had vowed to pull the Yoruba Nation out of the Nigeria if the country is not restructured before the 2023 general elections. Acting under the aegis of the Voice of Reason (VOR), a social cultural group, the elders made this known on Friday, 20th of November. Some of the elders that signed the advertorial include former Chief of Army Staff General Alini Akirinede, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos Professor Oye Ibidabo, co-founder EKO Hospitals Oluregun Sonny Kuku, and spokesperson of Afanifre Yinka Udmakin. According to the elders, the 1999 constitution under which the country is being governed is flawed and designed to give undue advantage to the northern regions of the country over their southern neighbors. The Yoruba people are irrevocably committed to a fundamental restructuring of this current union within the shortest possible time, preferably before the elections, failing which we Yoruba people may have to exercise our option not to continue to be part of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as presently constituted. In the inalienable rights to self-determination guaranteed by the United Nations Charter, we are prepared to use all means and resources available to us to extricate our people from this fate, unfair and unworkable union, the advertorial reads in part. VOR is a body of Yoruba sons and daughters comprising successful entrepreneurs and eminent professionals across the spectrum of the society. As a body, VOR is not partisan, but we are passionate about the progress and welfare of the nation. The average age of the scores of membership of the body is above 65 years. In any culture in the world, anyone of that age qualifies to be referred to as an elder. With the events going on in Nigeria at present, we believe as elders in Yoruba land, it is time we made our voices heard, loud and clear. No one needs to be told of the sufferings of the people under the harsh economy and the insecurity brought about by a federation hobbled by corruption, insincerity, and ineptitude of politicians. VOR has noted that the aspirations of most Nigerians are not being met, resulting in very apparent despondency, which, if unchecked, will lead to the chaos in the land. VOR further notes that the disaffections of citizens largely stems from a lack of opportunities for self-development and employment, and even for those who have taken steps to educate themselves and their children. Many of our qualified citizens are abroad, unable to come back and cope with the existing conditions. Before the whole country becomes convulsed by election fever, we have resolved to bring the following to the attention of the public as a whole. The Yoruba people are irrevocably committed to a fundamental restructuring of this current union within the shortest possible time, preferably before the elections, failing which we Yoruba may have to exercise our option not to continue to be part of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as presently constituted. In the inalienable right to self-determination guaranteed by the United Nations Charter, we are prepared to use all means and resources available to us to extricate our people from this fate, unfair and unworkable union. The restructuring exercise envisaged and demanded by the Yorubas cannot and should not be carried out through the National Assembly as presently constituted using the current 1999 Nigerian Constitution. This is because the current constitution not only does not represent the will or wishes of we the people, it is a flawed document conceived and hatched under a northern military government with fraudulent and unwarranted structural advantages given to the northern Nigeria and foisted on the rest of us. Furthermore, we believe that the threshold for amending the present constitution is to reflect and affect our legitimate demands in unsurmountable for the southern zones, based on the ill-built, flawed assumptions in the 1999 constitution. All Yoruba states are encouraged to carry out genuine census of how many we truly are in Yoruba land, using Lagos State example, which uses 23 million people for planning as against 9 million used by the federal government in the sharing of revenue and resources. We sympathize with the people of the Middle Belt in the onslaught on their villages by armed herdsmen committing murder and mayhem. In view of the migration of mayhem southward by these rampaging marauders, a proper tab should be kept by our communities on Okada riders and itinerant artisans in our midst to make sure there are no sleeper cells of terrorists among them, waiting for an opportunity to unleash violence on the populace. State assemblies in Yoruba land should make laws against open grazing. We believe it is not the business of the federal government to canvass or twist the state governors for cattle colonies. If need be, our people should be encouraged to boycott beef from the diet to drive home the point. If we don't eat beef, there is no need bringing cattle to our farmlands or doorsteps. Education was paramount in Yoruba land in the past. It was the basis of the giant strides made by Yoruba at the beginning of this federation when the regions planned and executed their development programs by themselves. With education, our teeming population can be converted into human assets that will drive development in our land instead of the mass of unemployable bodies looking for jobs and ready to be recruited for nefarious activities. As a starting point, all primary and secondary JS classes in Yoruba land must begin the study of Yoruba history and culture as part of their courses of study in earnest. This can be accommodated under our present school management system without it being open for JS examination. Concerted effort must be made in developing and strengthening the Yoruba. Discontent and despondency must be avoided at all costs. That is why preparing the youth for leadership is dear to VOR. Yoruba Obas should move to withdraw from the National Council of Traditional Rulers if the chairmanship is not made rotational between the North and the South. As it is, they are perceived to be subordinate to the Sultan of Sokoto. The religion of Islam should not be used as an excuse. History tells us that Islam came to Yoruba land long before the jihadists were stopped in Oshobo. There should be village community meetings all over Yoruba land for people's mobilization, dissemination of information of Yoruba interest, raising funds, strategizing and promoting Yoruba harmony and integration. Our elected representatives should be invited to local meetings within their constituencies, not to hail or ask them for favors, but for them to be intimated with the challenges within the constituencies with a view of finding solutions to such problems. The laudable DAWN initiative should be strengthened so that there would be more economic integration and improvement in road, rail and waterways link among the states in Yoruba land. All politicians aspiring to lead our people must henceforth be those ready to serve. We are tired of politicians using our people as bargaining chips to feather their nets to the detriment of our people. Our people must also desist from selling their votes. Experience should have taught them that they sell themselves into perpetual slavery and penury, even with such short-term gain. So guys, this is what the elders of Yoruba have said. It's important that they are voicing their own concern, but my point is this: for how long should they be demanding for restructuring? They have been demanding for restructuring since Nigeria got independent. They couldn't even achieve it all this while. So why are they still talking about restructuring? Instead of going to the major point of asking for self-determination, just start the action, not begging. It's not making it doesn't bring anything. You know, from the caliphate, you don't just beg them to give you restructuring. You have to take anything, whatever you want, you have to take from them. And my advice is that you ask for self-determination if you're looking for restructuring, because you won't get it. The Northern elders have said it several times that they do not want restructuring. And so I continuously demanding for the same thing without no result. I think the best thing is to take a different steps, take a different action. You don't need to wait from the 2023 election. But it's even better in the Yoruba elders when compared to that of those from Biafra land. They do not understand what they want. Today they want presidency, tomorrow they want restructuring. It's unbelievable. Anyway, this is what we have for now. If you're for the first time visiting my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, support this channel so that we can grow it together as I keep on bringing you news of what is happening in our country. As well, don't forget to share this program. Share to your friends, share to your family, people. Thank you for coming by. Thank you and bye.